Hey travelers, welcome to Go Cheap, Go Far. If you're here, you probably share my love for Europe. Those cobblestone streets, the charming cafes, the history you can feel around every corner, irresistible. How about a coffee in Piazza Navona after admiring the Trevi Fountain? But here's the thing, traveling can be expensive, and I'm not just talking about transatlantic flights. Think about the prices of a high-speed train like Italo. I'm talking about those small expenses that add up. A cappuccino here, a taxi there, a maybe too expensive Murano souvenir, and suddenly the budget is gone. But don't worry, I've spent years exploring Europe with a backpack and a limited budget, just like a modern-day Marco Polo, and I've learned a few tricks along the way. In this video, I'll share my 10 best tips for low-cost travel in Europe. Tried and tested during my travels from Sicily to the Dolomites. We're talking about how to find super cheap flights, sleep soundly without spending a fortune, maybe in a hostel or with Airbnb, and eat like a king on a student budget, tasting local delicacies like cacio e pepe pasta or a good Neapolitan pizza. So, if you're ready to discover the secrets to making your European dreams a reality, fasten your seatbelts and get ready to take notes. This is Go Cheap, Go Far. Let's start with the biggest hurdle for many travelers. Flights. I know what you're thinking. You said low-cost, not low-cost flights? But trust me, finding a deal is easier than you think. Forget booking during the weekend when everyone is trying to get away like taking a short trip. Friday and Sunday are the worst days because airlines know you're desperate for a getaway and, as they would say in Naples, they try to pull a fast one with the prices. The magic moment? Tuesday morning between 5 and 7. Yes, you heard that right. Wake up at dawn like you're going to the market. Airlines often update prices overnight, and that's when you're most likely to find those incredible fares that no one has booked yet. Another tip from a true expert: always use incognito mode. Airlines can track your activity and raise prices if they see you're interested in a specific flight. Big company tricks. And don't forget price alerts. Sites like Skyscanner and Google Flights let you set alerts for specific destinations and dates. You'll get a notification when prices drop, so you don't have to spend hours obsessively checking fares, like a grandpa with the weather. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. Patience is a virtue for the budget-conscious traveler. It might take a little time, but when you find the perfect deal, the satisfaction will be immense. A real treat. To give you an idea, I recently booked a flight from Rome to Berlin for only €32, simply by booking on Tuesday morning instead of Friday, when it cost €89. Almost 65% savings. Unbelievable. Imagine what you could do with that extra money in Berlin. A city tour, a delicious dinner at a typical restaurant, maybe a nice currywurst, or a unique souvenir. Now that we've booked our flights, let's talk about where to rest our heads after a long day of exploring those charming European streets. Sure, hotels can be comfy, but let's be real, they can also empty your wallet faster than a Venetian gondolier during Carnival. But don't worry, friends. There are plenty of budget-friendly alternatives that will make you feel like a local without breaking the bank. Forget those typical tourist hotels in the city center and think outside the box, or rather, outside the center. Have you ever thought about hostels? I know, the word hostel might bring to mind crowded dorms and shared bathrooms, but trust me, hostels today are not what they used to be. Many offer stylish and modern private rooms with private bathrooms at prices that will make you think, why didn't I think of this before? Another great option is Airbnb. Forget impersonal hotels and immerse yourself in the local culture by renting an apartment or a room in a charming neighborhood. Not only will you save money, but you'll also have the chance to live like a local, with your own kitchen and maybe even a washing machine. A true blessing for backpackers. And if you're feeling really adventurous, why not try house sitting? Take care of someone's home and pets while they're on vacation and enjoy free accommodation in return. It's a fantastic way to live like a local, save money, and maybe even make a furry friend. A pro tip: use websites like Hostelworld and filter for boutique hostel or designer hostel. They often offer private rooms for the price of a dorm in a regular hostel. I recently stayed in a boutique hostel in Lisbon for only €29 a night, while a comparable hotel would have cost more than double. Okay, You've landed in your dream European city. Now what? You have to get around, right? But hold on, before you jump in that taxi. Tourists often get ripped off literally, spending a fortune on taxis and tour buses. This is Europe. You walk, you bike, you take the train. Download the local public transport app before you even leave home. Trust me, it will become your best friend, showing you all the routes and schedules. And a pro tip, check out weekly passes or tourist travel cards. They can save you a lot of money, especially if you plan on using public transport a lot. In Berlin, for example, a weekly pass costs the same as 2 or 3 day tickets. What a deal! Don't forget the joy of cycling. Many cities like Copenhagen or Amsterdam are best explored on 2 wheels. Plus, it's good for you too. Remember, you're not just going from point A to point B. You're experiencing the city like a local. Okay, let's talk about food. Exploring local food is one of the best parts of traveling, but it doesn't have to break the bank. Forget those overpriced tourist traps. We're going off the beaten path for authentic flavors without emptying your wallet. First up, local markets. These bustling hubs are a feast for the senses and the stomach. Grab a fresh croissant and coffee for breakfast, or enjoy a delicious and affordable lunch from a market store. You'll rub shoulders with the locals and experience the true heart of the city. When it comes to restaurants, remember this magic phrase, menu of the day or daily special. These are fixed-price lunch menus that offer incredible value compared to dinner prices. You'll often find the same delicious dishes, but at a fraction of the cost. And don't underestimate the humble supermarket. Stock up on local cheeses, bread, fruit, and snacks for a scenic picnic in the park. It's a budget-friendly way to enjoy a delicious meal with a side of sunshine and fresh air. Now let's talk about how to stretch your sightseeing budget even further. You might be surprised to learn that many European cities offer free or discounted admission to their top attractions. It's all about knowing when to go and doing a little research beforehand. Let's take Paris, for example. On the first Sunday of every month, many museums, including the Louvre, open their doors for free. Imagine strolling through those grand halls surrounded by masterpieces without spending a dime on admission. That's what I call a good deal. London, with its world-famous museums like the British Museum and the National Gallery, offers free admission year-round. And in Madrid, you can enjoy the last 2 hours of the day at the Prado Museum for free. It's the perfect time to soak up some art after a leisurely Spanish lunch. A pro tip, always, and I mean always, check if the city you're visiting has a tourist card. They might seem expensive at first glance, but these cards often include free or discounted public transportation and admission to several attractions. Do the math. It could save you a bundle in the long run. Want to experience Europe like a local and save a bunch of money? Forget the peak season crowds and inflated prices. Traveling during the shoulder seasons, spring and autumn, is one of the smartest moves you can make. Imagine strolling through charming European streets without bumping into hundreds of other tourists. The weather is still pleasant, often with sunny skies and mild temperatures, perfect for exploring ancient ruins or enjoying lunch outdoors. Plus, you'll find much better deals on flights and accommodations. We're talking savings of up to 70% compared to peak season rates. That means more money in your pocket for delicious meals, unique souvenirs, and maybe even an extra visit to a museum. And don't underestimate the magic of winter in Europe. Imagine cozy, snowy Christmas markets, sipping hot mulled wine in a medieval square, and enjoying the festive atmosphere. Remember, every country has its own school calendar, so do a little research to avoid price hikes and enjoy a truly local experience. Okay, let's talk about everyone's least favorite travel topic, money. Specifically, how to avoid getting ripped off by banks when using your money abroad. Those foreign transaction fees and unfavorable exchange rates can really add up. But don't worry, I've got you covered. One of my top tips for stretching your travel budget further is to use a card designed for international travel. Companies like Revolut, N26, and Wise are changing the game. They offer something banks don't, the true mid-market exchange rate, with no hidden fees. Think about it. On a typical one-week trip with 1,000 euros of spending, those sneaky bank fees can easily cost you 50 to 80 euros. That's money that could be spent on a delicious meal, a unique souvenir, or even an extra night in a charming hotel. By using these travel-friendly cards, you'll pay what the locals pay and withdraw cash from ATMs without those outrageous fees. So, ditch the old way of exchanging money and embrace these modern tools for a smarter and more affordable trip. Okay, let's talk about sightseeing. Those big tour buses might seem convenient, but they can eat into your budget and leave you feeling disconnected from the real heart of a city. Think about all the charming medieval villages you miss. My advice? Skip the tourist traps and become an urban explorer. Free walking tours are a fantastic way to get your bearings in a new city and uncover hidden gems you won't find in any guidebook. It's almost like going truffle hunting. Just search online for free walking tour plus your destination city and you'll be amazed by the options. But the DIY fun doesn't stop there. Download free audio guides to listen to at your own pace or use apps like GPS My City for themed walking tours based on your interests, from street art to historic pubs. And remember, these free walking tours operate on tips, so show your appreciation with a few euros. It's still a fraction of the cost of a traditional tour. A small gesture, like offering someone a coffee at a cafe. Remember, the real joy of travel lies in spontaneous discoveries, unexpected encounters with local culture, and the satisfaction of exploring a new city at your own pace. So put on your comfortable shoes, embrace the adventure, and let the city unfold before you. Traveling on a budget isn't just about finding last-minute deals. It's about planning smart, just like a seasoned explorer. Before you go, take a look at the local events calendar. A national holiday or a big festival, like the Palio di Siena or the Carnival of Venice, can make prices skyrocket like a rocket. And don't wait until the last minute to book flights and accommodations, especially if you're traveling during peak season when everyone wants to go to the beach like in Rimini, or to the mountains in the Dolomites. 2 or 3 months in advance is ideal for finding the best rates, like when booking a ski trip. Another tip from a real expert traveler: organize your visits by geographical area, like your strategists conquering new lands. This way, you'll not only save on transportation, avoiding the hassle of running around like a headless chicken, but you'll also avoid wasting precious time on unnecessary travel. Finally, don't wait until you're starving, like someone lost in the desert, to decide where to eat. Do a little research on restaurants in the area before you go out, maybe by checking online reviews. This will help you avoid tourist traps and find authentic places, maybe a trattoria with real home-style cooking at more reasonable prices. Let's be honest, how many of us come home from a trip with souvenirs that end up forgotten in a drawer? And often, these tourist items are expensive and cheaply made. A much more interesting alternative is to hunt for unique treasures in vintage and second-hand markets, kind of like hunting for truffles. You'll find pieces with a story to tell at much more affordable prices. Another tip that I'm particularly fond of is visiting local supermarkets. Not only can you buy snacks and local products at reasonable prices like a real local, but you'll also experience authentic daily life. And the best souvenir? Your photographs. Not like those generic postcards they sell at the stalls. Print your favorite shots when you get back and create an album or frame them. Maybe a nice collage. They'll be a much more precious memory than any magnet or keychain. That cheap touristy stuff. Here are 10 brilliant tips for traveling cheap in Europe. By following these tips, you can travel twice as much on the same budget, having authentic experiences without breaking the bank. Like we say, more bang for your buck. My favorite? Definitely number 7, the currency trick. A real ace up the sleeve. Using cards like Revolut or Wise saves hundreds of euros a year in bank fees. A real game changer, like switching from Lire to euros. And you, which tip did you find most useful? Write it in the comments. Let's brainstorm together. I'd love to hear about your experiences and your tricks for traveling on a budget. Maybe I'll learn something new, you never know. If you like this video and want more tips for traveling cheap without sacrificing the best experiences, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. That way, you won't miss a single video. Scout's honor. Next week, I'll show you how to visit Berlin for a weekend spending less than 200 euros all-inclusive, just like a day trip to Ostia Antica, but in Berlin. Don't miss it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. See you soon.